Hello. What up, people? Welcome. This is the time in the stream when people probably just skip, the people watching in the future, because it still says starting soon on the screen. So I just say random things. But it's officially 1 week until I have to turn in the book back for the line editing. So for the next week, I will be reading one chapter on stream every day. Just, to force myself to do another chapter. I made some progress today and yesterday, but need more. Need more. So what does that mean? That means... Look at my face. Hey. How goes it? Happy Tuesday. Or my people in India, happy Wednesday. Yeah. Here it is. Chapter 6. I think I was on, I don't know, like chapter 2 and 3 last time I read this on stream. So we are here, page 59. Officially have, 190 pages left, something like that. Let's do the math. Boop, 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 doing the math. You know we love the math. 9 to 59 divided by 7. Ooh, I should probably do 6 actually. Whatever, 7. Okay. 27 pages every day, including today, which I've already done like 20, 30 pages. Shit. Let's just humor me and do 6 days. There we go. And even 32 pages. I think I can handle that. If I do half during the day, half at night, or shit, all of it during the day, some of it at night. Chapters are usually around 10 pages on average. So I'd have to get a few chapters done a day, which makes sense. And that's cutting it right to the last minute. I have a feeling I'm going to be definitely rushing the last day, but it's a good editor, so I'm not, I think the line editing will bring a lot of good stuff. All right, well, since I'm going to be reading, let's turn the music down a little bit. Ooh, perfect. Perfect song to start. Very mysterious. Chapter 6. Fragmentation. This is Iona. This is the female POV narrator. There's 2, Graham and Iona. This is Iona's chapter. I always mark it in the chapter name, so you know who's reading. Oh, come on, Garmis. You know these 2 are friends of the prince. Let's go ahead and I'll give a little lead up. So, right now what's happening is Iona, Genie, and Pharaoh are trying to escape the castle because the guards are trying to arrest them or whatever, throw them in the dungeon, because royalty thinks that Genie and Yona are Harmonian spies, right? Which, you know, they're not, they're just from Earth. So right now they're being confronted with one of the head, you know, the generals of the Royal Guard. Farrell is also part of the Royal Guard, but he's too close with the prince and they want to arrest him too. So that's why he's, you know, in with Yona and Genie right now. So, Farrell. Oh, come on, Garmus. You know these two are friends of the prince. There's no way we can detain them, Farrell pleaded with the head guard, surrounded by 20 soldiers, all holding bows and swords. Pleaded with the head guard. They were surrounded by 20 soldiers, all holding bows and swords. It isn't up to me, Farrell, but if it was, I'd have your head. You know better than to go directly against the wishes of the king. Of our king, Garmus scolded Farrell. Make it easier on yourselves, and just surrender now. We'll have you held in one of the nicer dungeons until your trials. Trials? I asked incredulously. Trials for what? What are we being charged with? Garmus huffed, annoyed by my questions. The elves have sent word of Harmonian spies roaming about Orbem lately, Garmus said, then put a hand to his chest before continuing. They even informed us of the inhumane passing of our dear Lord Schmelwick. He put his fist to his lips and stifled a sob. Dramatic. Oh, for crying out loud, we ain't Harmonian spies, you daft twits. Just a couple of Earth folk trying to get back home. Tell your king it's a big mistake, will ya? Genie pleaded a logical case. You heard the Earth folk. They aren't even Harmonians. We can explain the situation to the king together, Farrell said to Garmus. The Royal Guard's eyes were piercing and looked as if they would set Farrell aflame if possible. This was the last straw for you. Let me double check. Yeah, that's correct. This was the last straw for you, I'm afraid. We have orders to arrest you as well. Prince Frostshield will be held in his quarters for quite some time as we investigate this and previous mysterious actions on both your parts, Garmus said with a slight smirk. He didn't appear to be upset by the course of action one bit. What mysterious actions? Farrell asked nervously. Besides bringing known Harmonian spies to the throne room... Ooh, I gotta change that. Besides bringing known Harmonian spies... on the royal... grounds... Your sudden disappearance 2 months ago has still not been fully documented. Garmin dropped the serious information on Farrell. That's not really true. Garmus dropped... Garmus explained... There must have been some background investigations. Even Farrell didn't know of. Garmus explained. There must have been some background investigations even Farrell didn't know of. Farrell began shifting uncomfortably and avoiding eye contact. Before he could explain himself, Garmus and the soldiers began approaching closer. I took a defensive stance, ready to fight our way out as Jeannie palmed her last 2 throwing knives. Farrell was still lost in thought. Something small and unassuming appeared from behind Jeannie and me, then walked past us. Is that the right past? Walk past us. Oh, I guess it is. Huh. I always get that wrong. Rumia? I asked as I noticed it was the young biologist we had just met. Rumia turned and handed Jeannie a couple of crumpled papers and then continued walking towards the confused soldiers. I asked as I noticed it was the young biologist we had just met. I asked. Noticing it was the young biologist we had just met. The young biologist. Yes, we already know they just met. We'll turn the hand toward, okay, and then continued walking towards the confused soldiers who now put their attention on the messy goggle-wearing Mare Lady. I spelled that wrong. Mare Lady approaching the fully armed group. Excuse me, ma'am. We'll need you to vacate this area. We are in the middle of dealing with these dangerous fugitives, Garmus said in an official tone. Rubio just looked up at the captain with a warm smile, saying nothing. Garmus began looking at the soldiers to his left and right. You all heard me, right? Garmus turned his head and asked his squadron. Yes, sir. Crystal clear, one of the soldiers answered, then gave a quick salute. That's what I thought. Garmus began, then addressed Romeo once again a little louder than previously. Garmus began, then addressed Romeo. Then addressed Romeo once again. Yeah, whatever. Ma'am, you have to leave. Get back to work doing whatever you do. Vacate this area at once, Romeo commanded, mimicking Garmus's official tone. All the soldiers looked at Romeo with various confused expressions and began murmuring to each other. A couple of them chortled, then quickly regained composure when Garmus turned to give them a scowl. The scene in front of me had me frozen in intrigue. That doesn't sound good. The scene in front of me had me intrigued. But a noise to the left caused me to investigate its origin, where I saw Froschild hiding in an open doorway, waving at us and gesturing to come to him. Now see here, Garmus began to argue with Romeo, but she ignored him and put her hand up to stop his angry rant before it started. Everyone watched as Romeo pulled a simple-looking metallic puck out of her lab coat pocket and hold it in front of her face. Dehydrated synthetic reef, Romeo said without explanation. As the guards' attention were occupied. As the guards' attention were occupied, Jeannie rushed to the doorway as inconspicuous as possible. Then I insisted Farrell join her, so he tiptoed after. Enough of this nonsense! Arrest her as well, Garmus ordered, and I was about to jump to Romeo's aid when she pressed 3 buttons on the backside of the unmarked puck, causing an immediate explosion to emanate from the side facing the soldiers, and pushing Romeo backwards in recoil. More and more reef materialized, smashing into the soldiers and caused chaos as the room slowly filled up with a pinkish foam that expanded and hardened into a material that very much resembled an ocean reef. Boop, boop, boop. I can probably rewrite this better. The room slowly filled up with a pinkish foam that expanded and hardened into a material that very much resembled an ocean reef. Garmus even took a large chunk of a hardened piece straight to the face, launching him into the wall behind him. With the opportunity at hand, I ran at my top enhanced speed, scooped up Romeo, and rushed us both to the rest of our escaping group. You're fast, Romeo said to me with a bright smile. That's too many words. Fast. Hey girls. We gotta run before they realize I broke out of my room, Froschild explained. What are we going to do? They'll throw me in the dungeon if I stay, Farrell said, with tears welling in his eyes. I might as well be in a dungeon if I stay. We've all gotta go. Romeo too, Froschild said frankly, and put his forehead to Farrell's, causing the panicking merrymen to start breathing steadily. From that point forward, we kept a fast pace to avoid contact with any other castle staff. Jeannie and I managed to procure our wetsuits and helmets, and we all snuck around using every hidden passageway Froschild and Farrell knew until we slowly exited from an underground floor hatch outside of the castle. Soon, we swam right over the wall and hid ourselves amongst the busy streets of downtown Waymore. We went to a dive bar Farrell knew about that was almost empty. and sat at the back to avoid anyone recognizing the prince. That was a close one, Frosthill said with a nervous chuckle. Farrell didn't respond and was looking down at the tabletop as Jeannie took it upon herself to grab drinks for us all. Rumia was looking around the room with sparkling eyes as if it was her first time outside of the castle. Don't get out much, do you? I asked Rumia. If she heard me, she didn't show it, and continued her examination of the surrounding booth stains. Lost in your work, I suppose. Something I can relate to. You know we all have Rumia to thank for escaping. Frosthill said, looking at her with a smirk. Crazy kid came looking for me to give Jeannie something, I think. And took out 2 guards somehow, then broke down my door. Jeez. Jeannie, Farrell, and I looked to the thin, pale, purple-scaled scientist with furrowed brows and pursed lips. Oh, that reminds me. What did the mad lass give me? Jeannie asked and took out the papers Romeo handed her, and I peeked over and saw the contents of the first page. It appeared to contain some sort of formula. Nothing I could decipher with my basic knowledge of Orbem elements and codes. Jeannie poked Romeo, causing her to jump a bit in surprise. What is this? Jeannie asked and pointed to the writing on the first page. Romeo looked at the thin paper, then to Jeannie. Nope, wrong then. Then to Jeannie, and smiled without answer. Just as Jeannie was about to ask again, with an annoyed look, I knew all too well Rumia said. That's not a good way of saying that. Just as Jeannie was about to ask again. Yeah, she doesn't need the answer. Just as Jeannie was about to ask again, Rumia grabbed the paper and rotated it. And turned it upside down. Jeannie looked at her, then back to the paper. Are these chemical compositions? How'd you know I was a chemist? Rumi was no longer in reality and was now humming to herself, so Jeannie shook her head and took a sip of her beverage, knowing it was a lost cause. What happened to her? I asked solemnly. What do you mean? Farrell asked. I mean, did she go through some trauma or had an evil spell cast upon her that drove her to lose her communication abilities? I tried to elaborate. I'm not quite sure. She's been like this as long as I've known her. Do you know of anything? Farrell turned and asked Frosthill. Nope. Pretty sure she was born this way, Frosthill answered, with a shrug. That would explain the organized chaos in her lab and short bursts of lucidity. It's almost as though her mind was unable to handle the sensory input and the level of her brilliance all at once. So, can you do anything with those notes? I asked Jeannie and attempted to make sense of the writing. Jeannie flipped the first page over and skimmed the second one, then said with a smile, Maybe. Not familiar with some of these chemical symbols. With most of these chemical symbols. Well, again, Miguel looks promising for... yeah, I don't want to say that. Maybe I can get some help at the academy. It appeared, even with all the excitement, our trip to Meridia managed to bear much fruit. Not to be too forward, but it doesn't look like there will be able to stay in Waymore. Where are you two headed? Farrell asked while wringing his hands and avoiding eye contact. We'll need to return to Orbem Academy first. Then we'll have Graham take us back to Kenneth Village, I suppose, I answered. Wonder if Siona could get me into a lab. I doubt Keldrian carries any of these chemicals, Jeannie said while reading over Romeo's notes again. Graham? Is that the scary man you told me about, Frosh? Farrell asked, Frosthill, whose large yellow eyes went wide at the mention of that name. Yeah, that's him. Saved my life and all, but scary for sure, Frosthill said as he stared off in the distance. I'd love to meet all your friends. If they're even half as exciting as you both, then they must be a blast. Furrow said with more than one insinuation baked into his statements. Jean and I looked at each other and she nodded to me. Would you and Froshiel, and Romeo want to join us? I'm sure John would be surprised to see you again. I asked and smiled at the group. Romeo had trouble making eye contact but smiled in my direction. Who's John? Furrow asked Froshiel, causing his eyes to go wide again. It seemed Froshiel left out the part of his story where John was carrying him on his back for a while. Furrow must have been the jealous type. That'd be great, Froshiel said suddenly as he avoided the John question, then turned to Jeannie. Hey, you got any more of that water spray you made for me before? You got any more? Jeannie looked in contemplation before answering. Ah, the hydration serum I whipped up to keep you from dying. That's better. Sure, I can make some more if you need. You have no idea. Kept me not needing water on my skills for a while. Bet as long as we had some salt water to drink, we'd last forever on land with some of that stuff, Froshiel explained, causing Romeo to look at him with a quick brow. The little merry lady looked at Jeannie. Oil-based? Not completely. It's emulsified solution with a powerful humectant to raise the moisture retention factor and assist the aquaporin proteins, Jeannie explained with a bright smile. She rarely was able to speak with another person about her work. Graham was a know-it-all, so he could keep up, but most of the conversations ended quickly when she began to lecture. Hydration serum, humectant, aquaporin proteins. Romeo echoed Jeannie's words in a monotone as she looked off in space. Soldiers. Soldiers? I asked in confusion. Then I caught sight of some armed Meridians outside of the dirty window of the bar. Quick, out the back! Froshiel panicked and rushed us out of the back of the establishment. Dashing in and out of alleys and slowly avoiding any official, we finally made it to this train station. There was a massive crowd of various species in suits and Meridians all over, so we felt that we would not be noticed by anyone at that point. Jean and I returned our suits, and Froshiel sent Furrow to buy us all tickets for a one-way trip to Gilmonk. Luckily for us, Froshiel packed more dormants than I had ever seen. To be fair, one dormant would have been more than I had ever had, but I could tell his supply was robust. Before we knew it, the train whistle blew loudly and we rushed aboard it and found seats in an empty compartment. Romeo was covering the sides of her head with her hands and smiled as she looked outside the train window. Here we go, Romeo said with a slight quiver in her voice. Her legs were shaking nervously, so I patted one of the tail legs. Yeah, I don't have to keep saying that. They are legs, even though they come from the tail of the legs a few times. One of her legs a few times, causing her to look at me. You alright? First time on one of these trains? I asked Romeo. Romeo just gave me a large wide grin in response and looked back out of the window with her hands still on the sides of her head. The train was smooth, and without warning, I fell asleep leaning on Jeannie. When I awoke, we had already exited the sea. The sun was rising. It was at that moment I realized how strange the deep sea was regarding time. Tracking the time of day in Orbem was strange enough as it was, but the sun kept things in perspective. At the depths of Waymore, it appeared no one paid attention to when it was bedtime or morning, and just went about their day as if it was endless. Jeannie was somehow sleeping as she sat straight up, with her head slumped forward. Romeo hadn't moved from her position staring out of the window. Both Froshiel and Furrow were flipping through some thin books they must have found in the compartment. Looks like we're almost there, I said to the merryman. Froshiel looked out of the window and said to me, Really appreciate you letting us tag along. Of course. To be honest, the more familiar faces we surround ourselves with in the world, the safer I feel. A prince, soldier, and Orbem scientist are quite the addition to our group, I said with a warm smile. I promise we won't hinder any of your plans, and if there's anything we could do to assist you both, don't hesitate to ask, Furrow said. Then grinned, but I really need to cut all this. I know I already cut so much, but this is kind of hinting at that they're going to be sticking around longer than they are. Boop, 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 boo. Of course. Yeah, we'll just say this. Boop. You heard the lady. The more the merrier, Frosho comforted the nervous guard. The train reached its next destination, and so had we. It was a warm morning in Guillemont, but must have been quite early, as the train station was only occupied by our arriving travelers. It became apparent that Romeo was going to be a handful, as I was forced to hold her hand to avoid the curious Meridian wandering off, as she had multiple times since leaving the locomotive. We made the trek to the academy in less than 2 hours, and must have shown up just as the morning classes were about to start, as a loud bell rang, and more than a handful of students were rushing into the main entrance. Wow, what an amazing institution, Pharaoh noted, as he looked from left to right, taking the beautiful architecture. Yeah, pretty good looking building. I always forget how big this place is, Frosho noted. The hundreds of students walking around of various species, and the sparkling iridescent roof and the bright sunlight was overstimulating Romeo. Her large green eyes were wide and bulging as her hands clenched into fists over and over. Rebulane, Farinel, Diowells, Fairy, Meridian, Poigonal, Fairy, Hairy Lizard. Romeo began naming off all the species she saw one by one. The word hairy lizard caught my attention, as Siona mentioned that there were very few at the academy other than her. Hey, that's Siona over there, right? Frosho pointed out Siona, about to enter the library. Siona, I called out to her. She turned with a furrowed brow at the sound of her name. When she finally recognized the caller, she smiled brightly and began running over to our group. Iona, Jeannie, how wonderful it is to see you again. How was your trip to Waymore? You must tell me everything that happened. Siona was beaming until she noticed Frosho, causing her eyes to grow big. Frosho? Is that you? Hey, Lizard Lips, how's it going? Frosho greeted Siona with a nickname that she was not fond of. Did you three run into each other in the city? Siona asked me. Actually, yes. Not too long after our arrival, I explained. Yeah, Becky Merriman almost got us bait, Jeannie added. Siona didn't quite understand her terminology and looked to me for more context. Long story, turns out the Meridians aren't too fond of Hammonians. They thought we were Hammonians, and we had to escape quite suddenly. Lucky for us, Romeo and Frosho were able to help us in that regard, I said, and pulled Romeo closer to the group. Oh, well, hello there. I'm Siona Blazerine, Orbem historian and good friend to Iona and Jeannie. It is wonderful to meet you, Romeo. Siona crouched down and introduced herself. Romeo didn't respond and was looking off in the distance with a smile. Is she hard of hearing, perhaps? Siona asked seriously. Hello, Siona. My name is Farrell. It is a pleasure to meet you. Farrell stepped forward and shook Siona's hand. Romeo here is quite special, but not deaf. She also appears to be quite young. Would that be an accurate assumption? Siona asked, with her head cocked to the side. Perhaps 12 or 13. Sounds like a pretty good guess. I don't really know. I think she showed up at the castle about 10-ish years ago. Frosho answered. Is that right? He asked Romeo. Romeo focused on the sound of Frosho's question, and she looked at Siona. Female hair lizard. 34. I beg your pardon, Miss Romeo, but I am 33 for a few more weeks. Thank you very much, Siona said with a tinge of defensiveness. Romeo was already turned around, looking at something in the distance. She is brilliant for her age, Siona added with a smile. Yes, Romeo gave me and Jeannie both some incredible biological instructions on the Meridian's abilities. She is a gifted scientist. Finding out she could be only 13 is truly mind-blowing based on what I've witnessed, I said and looked to the distracted Mare Lady. Siona, we need a lab. Any chance you got a place to put us? Jeannie asked. A lab? I suppose there should be an empty one or two today. What for? Siona asked. While we wait for Graham and the others to come take us back to Kent Village, we're going to try to take advantage of Romeo's notes. I have a sequence to program, and Jeannie has need of some Orbem-based chemicals, I told Siona, who nodded slowly with raised eyebrows. No doubt she was curious about our motives. Siona led Jeannie, Frosho, Farrell, Romeo and me to a new area in the academy on the west side left of the library. As we passed open doors down a long hallway, I noticed various rooms full of students and researchers performing all sorts of school activities. There were chemistry and engineering in some, music and performing arts in others, and a handful of rooms full of students just studying. "Here we are," Sienna said as she stopped in front of a closed door. She took out a large ring full of keys and started sorting through them, one by one, until she came across a gold one. "You should be quite interrupted here. Jeannie, this room is mostly used for advanced chemistry classes, so you should be able to find what you need." Sienna opened the door to a large room with rows of immaculately clean tables. At the head of the room hung an empty chalkboard, with a desk in front of full of rows of various glass chemistry instruments and containers. Alright. Brings back memories of university, eh? Jeannie noted. She was right. It even smelled like the average college lab room, with collective hints of basic chemicals and cleaning agents. "This should be perfect," I said with a bright smile and began unpacking my things. Jeannie followed suit, and both Rochelle and Vero took seats by the windows on the left side of the room. We heard clanking glasses, and as we noticed Romeo digging through some cabinets, having seen her own lab. Digging through some cabinets. Having seen her own lab, I figured she must have been either excited or nervous to be in part of such a clean environment. "Come on, girl, why don't you help me out?" Jeannie said to Romeo, who smiled brightly at the invitation. It was adorable, really, almost like looking at a memory of Jeannie and myself back when I first joined Thyrus. I really don't know why she took me under her wing so easily with a brash personality as hers, but I now saw it was just in her nature to be motherly. The conversation never came up, but I wondered why she never became a mother by natural means. Jeannie and Romeo went off to a table and began setting up various stands, flask beakers, and separatory funnels, as well as her P3 emulsifying device from Thyrus. Romeo was reading the page she handed Jeannie the previous day and making more notes on them. It appeared Jeannie was in good hands, and I had no doubts that they would develop some amazing serums together. But I now had to focus on my task. With the notes from Romeo containing genetic sequences for meridian fragmentation in hand, I took out a small computer I brought with me to Orbem and my P3 syringe device. The computer was nothing special, about the size of a book, but much lighter. It had one function, so it was quite rudimentary. Inside the computer was a direct link to Syringe's motherboard that allowed me to input sequences to create new biomechanical augmentations. It was a strange feeling to be working on my P3 once again after so much time. Flashbacks from Thyrus came and went as I booted up. Flashbacks from Thyrus came and went as I booted up the computer. There was one issue I had to contend with. Previously, after months of failed attempts, my assumption was that the syringe simply could not be programmed with any custom sequences. My new theory was that the syringe I had been given at Thyrus had restrictions baked into its inner workings to avoid the successor from harming themselves. That or just to keep control over the abilities discovered. This issue would require a technologist, or more importantly, appropriately Harmonian, and to remedy. So until I could ask for Graham's assistance, I began the time-intensive process of entering all the sequences required to initiate a fragmentation ability. Let's say I began the time-intensive process of ciphering and mapping Romeo's notes so they could be entered into the syringe, so it can be inputted into the syringe. Once that was complete. All the sequences required to initiate a fragmentation ability on my arms would be ready to engage. Jeannie was making great progress with the help of Romeo, who stayed lucid much longer when focusing on a task she enjoyed, it appeared. Jeannie explained this would enhance her bulletproof serum exponentially, utilizing the remarkable physiological adaptations giving them resistance to hydrostatic pressure. Suddenly the door to our room opened. Graham and the others have returned, Siona said excitedly. No doubt she was more than interested in their myophilia escapades. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just as interested. So we all followed Siona to the library. How many goddamn pages are left? 2, 3, 4. Shit. Graham, John, and Corinder were sitting at a table, all wearing strange white robes. John looked especially silly as his robe was covering his mech armor. Hey, Graham called out to us and waved. He stood up and ran over and without warning latched onto me in a hug. My eyes went wide at the sudden physical contact, and I looked at John, who simply smirked in my direction. Hello, Graham. It's great to see you in such a healthy state. It appears you hadn't washed your robe from your visit to Meridia. Hey, PremFX. How you doing? Thanks for jumping on. How you doing? Just doing a little editing before I start working on the video game. This is book 2. So, I gotta turn it in a week for line editing. Figured I'd read a chapter on stream just to keep making progress. So, I only have a few pages left though. So if you're interested in the game dev, stick around and enjoy the story out of context. Where was I? Hello, Graham. Good to see you in a healthy state. Appears blah blah. Oh yeah, I noted and patted Graham on the back with both hands, trying to avoid getting myself covered in the scent of stale seawater. Graham let me go quickly, and I looked at him and looked at himself. Oh wow, I'm so sorry, Una. Guess we all got used to my smell already. It's fine. More importantly, what were you thinking back then? You could have been crushed under that much pressure so deep in the ocean, I asked. Yeah, that was pretty dumb of me. I was just so excited. Let's change that. To bring you and Jeannie back to Myophilia so you could meet Calderant. It seems I wasn't thinking ahead. I said with a sheepish smile. Nothing new there, lad. Oops. Whoops. Jeannie joked. Yep. So what? And So everything went smooth in Meridia. Gray mast. Well, it turns out the royal Meridians don't take too kindly to Ammonians. The royals almost had us locked up. If it wasn't for turns out the royal Meridians don't take too kindly to Ammonians. The royals almost had us locked up. If it wasn't for the Meridian lot here, we'd still be in that garish castle of theirs. No offense, Rosho, Jeannie said, and turned to Rosho, who was walking up with her own Rumia. Hey, 2 legs. No. I gotta get rid of that. Hey. Rosho approached Graham timidly, whose expression immediately fell flat at the sound of Rosho's voice. Well, look who it is. Fishman. Or Fishman. Oh good, he's off work tomorrow. And Fish Kid? Graham said with squinted eyes and then turned to me. You brought them all back with you. Before I could respond Graham's question, Farrell ran past Rosho and grabbed Graham in a tight embrace. Graham's eyes bulged out of his head as he was still staring at me. Graham, meet Farrell. Farrell, as you seem to have guessed, this is Graham Milford, I explained and introduced the two. Farrell let go of Graham and grabbed his hands, then said sincerely, You have no idea how much I appreciate all that you've done for me. Thank you. John was snickering in the background as Graham stiffened at the display of affection from a stranger. You're welcome? Graham asked. Graham said in a squeak. Yeah, he's not really asking. Sorry, what did I do? Relax, Farrell. The cracker here didn't even know what he was doing. Rosho said, then walked up to the affectionate Merryman and put his hand on his back. Cracker? Graham asked with the narrow eyes on Rosho. John was now laughing heartily in the background. I assumed the name was in reference to the sound of Graham's transports. Rosho sure did enjoy giving nicknames. To avoid any more confusion, I filled Graham in on the situation with Rosho and the rest. How he was a prince and ran away with Pharaoh to be together. Romeo's story interested Graham the most. Hello, Romeo. So nice to meet you. Graham walked up and said to Romeo in a sweet tone. Her large eyes went wide and she grabbed Graham's head and started feeling the buzzed portion of the back of his hair. Graham's eyes were now also wide. Jeannie ran over and grabbed Romeo's hand softly. Alright lads, let's be leaving the lad's head alone. Romeo smiled and grabbed Jeannie's hand. Foreign appendage, Romeo said, looking at Graham's arm. That's right, you have a very keen eye. Graham responded sweetly as Romeo began staring into his eyes. You're Harmonian. Harmonian, and Romeo began but lost her train of thought. Graham's eyes narrowed at her statement. Harmonian and what? Can you tell what I am from just looking at me? He asked the distracted child. She didn't answer and began humming. She is truly brilliant, but appears to process communication differently, I explained. Her eye for biology is remarkable. I bet her memory is even better than mine, Graham said with a chuckle. So, what have you girls been up to since escaping the crazy king? John asked. Jeannie and I smiled and motioned for the boys to follow us. We took them to our makeshift workstations. Jeannie and Romeo presented their first new serum prototype. Go on, let's smash me arm, love, Jeannie said to John with the arm lying across the tabletop. John looked at her with raised eyebrows. Do it. I'm not gonna hit you, you're nuts, John protested. You're the strongest man here. Won't make me point if it's not you. Jeannie explained and smiled brightly at a nervous-looking John. Alright, John raised his hand above Jeannie's and brought it down gingerly. Ah, come on, you baby. Smash me arm like you mean it. Jeannie scolded John, who looked to me as if waiting for my intervention. It's fine, John. Her new serum is amazing. It allows her skin to handle over 1,000 times of atmospheric pressure, I explained. which elicited John's eyes to open wide. That's a weird way of saying that. He looked at Jeannie and then to her arm, then promptly took a full swing from above his head and pounded Jeannie's arm. Pounded down on her limb. The resulting impact caused a loud crunch sound, which made everyone watching, including John, jump back. And he covered his mouth with his hands. "I'm so sorry, my love. What did I do?" John panicked as Jeannie laughed. The sound of her laughter made everyone relax. "I'm fine, you dumb ox. Help me pull my arm out of the table," Jeannie said as she tried pulling herself free from the broken tabletop John embedded her arm into. "Yeah, that's one of those long ones," Jeannie said as she tried pulling herself free. John had embedded her arm into the broken tabletop. After the exciting interaction, I brought Graham over to my portion of the lab. "So, what have you been cooking up?" Graham asked with a building smile. Before I said anything, I pushed my compact computer over to him. He looked at it with a quirked brow, then to me as if he couldn't comprehend what he was looking at. "It's my sequence inputting computer," I explained as Graham's lips pressed together in a grimace. He was obviously not impressed by my rudimentary tech. "You gotta let me develop a better system." Graham finally revealed his true feelings, but I ignored him. Boop. His true feelings. I ignored him. I've inputted all the sequences needed to implement a fragmentation augmentation to my arms, but there is one issue I've had since starting my P3's research. Fragmentation? What are you fragmenting on your arms? Before I could answer, Graham began making his ridiculous thinking face, looking up with squinted eyes that darted back and forth. "Wait, you're going to split your arms like their tails?" "Precisely," I said with a smirk. Graham began tapping his lips with his hand as his eyes began to sparkle. "It will enhance my fighting abilities tenfold. I might even consider implementing a fragmentation on my legs if all goes well." "That is unbelievably cool, you know. I can't wait to see it," Graham explained excitedly. Considering the number of disgusting expressions I received from the others, I was happy to see Graham understood my reasoning. "What's the issue?" Where am I at? Oh my god, I'm so close. "What's the issue? There's no way for me to input certain sequences. It's as if a governor has been installed on the syringe," I said, and began trying to submit the sequence, resulting in an error noise and red flash on the small screen. Graham took the computer and started reading the content of my sequences. Before I could explain how it works, he instantly began unlocking the admin controls and looked at setting pages I didn't know existed. A part of me felt the burn of anger growing as I saw how easily Graham could manipulate unfamiliar technology. Another part began to feel a different burn. Is this act of intelligence appealing to me? I thought as Graham was captivating my interest. Shaking my head to focus, I noticed Graham stopped typing. Strange, the submission function only has a catch-all error response. There's no way for me to tell what is causing the failure. Let me open the syringe, Graham said and pulled out a small leather rectangle. He swiftly unrolled the leather, revealing a series of tiny tools. The syringe was... I haven't been paying attention. That's fine. Instant began taking out screws and layers of the inners. See anything? I asked as I marveled at a technologist in his element. Aha! You do not belong, Graham said and took a pair of tweezers and pulled out a tiny black crystal. Graham quickly reassembled the syringe with little effort. And not a missed screw. His perfect memory always frustrated me. Alright, give it another shot. He handed me the syringe and the computer, then I resubmitted the sequence. It was a short pause. Then things started to load. Just as when I submitted working sequences in the past, each line was being read by the system and copied over to the syringe. You did it, I said in amazement. I was so worried when Cormier stole our Holy Grail syringe that I wouldn't be able to properly use this due to its limitations. Thank you so much. Graham scratched the back of his head and smiled. Anytime. So are you gonna try it out here? I suppose there's no use waiting. I'm quite confident in the sequencing, I surmised, and removed my cloak to expose my arms. I surmised. As I removed my cloak to expose my arms, Graham's nose wrinkled and he had a wavering smile. What? Oh, nothing. Just a little nervous, I guess, from the last syringe action. Graham remarked while looking down. Remember, the syringe was not the cause of my illness. Coromir's scheming was to blame. Honestly, our Harmonian technology has been quite stable, I assured Graham. You're right, you're right. Ready when you are, Graham said, and now John had Coroner's attention directed towards me as I began engaging the syringe. Like the previous times, I extended the microneedle and disengaged the safety switch. With a deep breath, I smiled at everyone and said, here we go. Alright. Chapter 6 complete. Hey, look at that. Page 74. I think we're safe to move on to game development. Now that Orbem Book 2 is in a good spot for tomorrow. Alright, well, where we left off was working on the custom field, the repeater field. So, let's see. I need to allow it to add multiples at the same time. So the problem is, you know, this works. I can delete. This works. Ooh, I can delete both, huh? Oop. Yes, I can delete both. Does that leave a console error? No. Okay. Let's update. See if it resets it. Let's move this over. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's refresh and see what it looks like now that it's empty. Should be just one, but with zeros. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so the problem is when I click add, it works. But when I click add again, it does not. It gives me another one. So that needs to be 2. I'm wondering why my logic's doing that. Yep, it's just doing 1. Alright, let's take a look. My guess is it's not seeing the one that was created. So, no, this is the remove logic. I don't need this. I need this. So on click, we get all the field containers. So I think the problem is that repeater container also needs to be reset. I think that is a real freaking problem. I think that means I need to set a data point that I can read to know how many are created at that time. Let's see if that works. So in the meta box, we have this, and then maybe in the field container wrap, I could put data point and put data count equals echo. Hey bitch, come on. Echo ESC attribute. And this will be walking paths. What is it in PHP? Count. That should be good. Alright, let's double check that that's correct. We'll see if this has a new data point. Which means when I remove one, I'll also have to update that data point just to keep it as the source of truth. So currently it should be 0. Okay, yep, data count 1. Well, better than nothing. Okay, so 1 works, because technically it starts with 1, right? So what I actually have to do is boop -1. Because this will give me the correct number. Okay. Now that I have that, I know that field container wrapper, field container wrap, which is set where? Here. Okay. Which is container wrap. That's fine. I can keep updating this. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna add all this junk. And let's update the data count. The container data count. So what is it called? It's called container wrap. Oh. Right. I was already putting something there. Set attribute. Data count. And I'm going to set it to the current value plus 1. So let's get the current value, I guess. I need to get the current value in the click event. That's fine. Current count equals container wrap. Actually, I need to get it fresh. So let's do document, not query selector. Shit. How am I going to do this? No, that's fine. It should be fine. Maybe I shouldn't guess that this is the problem. Let's double check. Yeah, I think I might be jumping the gun here. Hold on. Yeah, because let's double check what the actual container wrap, the count is when you click on add again. So what is it? Field container count. So let's see what the count is here. Console.log field containers.length. Let's double check what we got here. Alright, let's check out the console. Refresh. Now I can turn the music back up. Come on, buddy. Oh, hurry the fuck up. Sometimes, man, this local. Alright. So let's get a count. When I click this, it should be 1. Correct. So now when I click it again, it should be 2. Because I should be reading both of these. It is 2. Okay, well then I'm doing something wrong here. What the fuck? I mean, that might be not be a bad way of getting the index, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, so I can get rid of that. I'm glad I checked that because I didn't need to go crazy with another data point. Okay, so what is the problem? Because seems like index, field index, where's that? Field index plus 1. Field index is field containers, data index. Yeah, this is unnecessary. I just got it a way easier way. So let's do this. Field index actually equals the length of the field containers. Field containers dot length. And like that's it. I don't need to go crazy. I don't need to go crazy here. Right? Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. What is this? Why is this duplicate code? Okay. Okay. Now let's see if it works. In Orbem. Okay, let's go. We got 1. Let's double check the 1 worked here too. Yep. Now this should work. It should be 2. And it is. Problem solved. Very cool. So now if I remove 1, will it reset properly? It'll give me a console error. Nope. Well, would you looky here. Looks like I have to reset the click event. Shit. I have to reset the remove click event. So, okay. Well, technically I need to add the remove to the click event. Apparently. Looks like I have to add before I can... Nah, that won't work. Looks like I might have to do both. Okay, the problem is that I need to make this a function. Alright, let's just make this its own function. Boop. Okay, this is going to be remove field. Function, remove field. sounds platoon. And do remove fields. And what do I have in here? I've got repeater container that I need. And I think that's it. Field containers? No, that's gonna reset here. Yeah, alright. This should be good. Oh, I forgot how a function looks. I look like I'm trying to scratch my nose. Why am I blanking on functions right now? I guess I don't need that. Wait, does function go before the name of the function or not? I guess it does. Why am I tripping? Okay. It just doesn't look right to me for some reason. Alright, remove field. Remove field. Boop. And we're gonna provide remove fields. And repeater container. Cool. And I'm going to redo this every time I add a new one. Stop it now. Actually, let's just do this. We'll make it a one-off, not a for each. So it'll just be a repeater field. I mean remove field. Alright, so let's do that. We'll do that. Cool, cool, cool. And then we'll be able to do the same thing here. Oops. I don't want to remove fields, I want to remove field. And then here, when we add a new one, we need to get the new, where's the clone? Okay, here's the clone, new field. New field. I don't need this for each input, I just need the new field. So after it gets added, whatever, we'll do new field. Dot query selector. And that's going to be remove field. And that'll be newest. Remove. Right? Right. And then we'll do this. Newest remove. See if this works. Cool. This should work. Oh, whoops. There we go. Alright, first try. Now it should be setting the click event for the remove. Shit, I need to add this for the add too, huh? Error. Looks like I need to make add also. Oh no, add is separate. Never mind. Add is agnostic to the fields. Okay. Alright. Remove field is not a function. Right? The funkin' wag, what are you talking about, boy? Maybe I spelled it wrong. No, I did not. Remove fields right here. It's definitely a function. It's a function that has not been created yet, or what? No, should be good. What am I doing? Oh, shit. Removing field. There we go. That'll probably make more sense. Yeah. Alright, let's try this again. And then it should be setting the remove function. And I'm not using the same variable name as the function name. And those of you who are watching that are brand new, I'm Scott V. Adrian, website programmer. Been doing it for 20 years, specifically WordPress programmer for about 16. Worked for Disney, worked for Universal, worked for Warner Brothers, Beachbodies, Investors.com, worked for a lot of giant enterprise level websites. This is my own personal project. It's part of my marketing website for my book, and it is a video game, RPG style pixel art video game that I'm building into WordPress. So I'm basically building a game engine for WordPress so that I could build my game. So let's see, will this remove function work now that it should be added? Boom, perfect. So the problem was when I was creating the new field, this is a repeater field that I'm defining myself. I don't use ACF. When I was defining it, the click event hadn't been added to the new entity yet because it's a clone. But now that I'm setting it on creation, I can delete. And if I had multiple, look at this, I got 2, I got 3, and I remove 1. You see how it resets the indexes? Now it's 0, 1, 2, even though I removed 1. I'll remove 1 again, now it's 0, 1. Perfect, man. This is how you want it to work. Okay, I think we're set. Now I can start setting some position points for the NPC walking path, and we can see if I can make my NPCs move. So let's set something to start, just to see what's going on. These are probably going to be really shitty positions because I'm not looking at the front end. Let's double check it's saving properly. Nope, top did not save properly. And that's a no bueno. And I removed that. Okay, well let's see why. Left was fine. What's going on here? Top. Undefined array key. Top. This is a top. So it looks like it didn't save top correctly. Ah, shit. Let's open up the database. You. Give me database. I want to see how shitty it is. Okay. Let's jump on in here, select the data. Let's see the newest metadata. Okay, explore path. We have 2 arrays. Top, left, good. And let's edit this so I can see the whole thing. Top, left, good. Left. Why is it leaving top out? Doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's remove these. Especially you, bitch. Let's resave this. Let's make sure it's perfect. Continue. Alright, here we go. Top left looks good. Let's add a new one. And let's see what top looks like, because it's obviously incorrect HTML. Data index is good. Explore path top. Explore path top. It looks good. What's the problem? Why is it not saving? 5,000. 3,000. So if I save this, maybe it's just the save function's not working properly. No, look, top left. Is it because I was like adding and deleting? Let's see, maybe there's some problems with the adding and deleting. So let's go ahead and add 2 more. Let's remove this one. And now let's see what we got. Maybe the re-index isn't working. Left, left, yeah. There's your problem. They're both left. Alright, so the remove function is wrong. Alright, remove field. The problem appears to... Wait, where's the remove? Here we go. Wait. What? Remove fields? Oh, yeah. This isn't actually removing the field, though. This is removing the field. This is setting the remove field function now. Where's the actual... Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. So, yeah. Okay, so we got this set. We remove the container. We're setting this. Where's the logic that changes left? Here we go. Alright, so if input index is not 0. Interesting. So the input index must not be 0. Well, then what the hell is it? Let's see. Let's console that bitch. Ooh. And yeah, I'm using gulp for compiling JavaScript. I don't like it. It's kind of old, you know. I want to use Webpack. I want hot reloading, but I'm lazy. I have my buddy who will do it for me, but I'm even too lazy to have him do it because I gotta push this up to a repo for him to work on it. And I'm Mr. Lazy. Okay, so let's add a couple. Whatever, we'll just add one. No, let's add a couple. So when I remove this one, let's see what index we get. Yeah, look, it's 0 and 1. The fuck? So then, what are we getting? Because I got left to left. Yeah, see, top is left. Shouldn't be. Input 0 and 1. 0 should... Wait, let me read this function. Am I doing something wrong here? If it's not 0, then replace top with left. Yeah. But it is 0. Or is it not 0? What am I doing? Alright, well let's... Yeah, it'd be more telling if I knew what the input name was first. So let's actually do that. First input name. Because if for some reason it's left, then yeah, I wouldn't change to top. And then I'll need to put an else in this. So now we'll get to see what the index corresponds with the name. And that should probably tell us what the issue is. Seeing a lot of people come in and out of YouTube. I don't really have a viewer count visibility on Twitch, so I don't know when people come in, but you know, if you want to come in and stop by, that's fine. I love to interact and talk with people though, so if you're watching this in the future and you're around Hey, say hi. Okay, so now I'm going to remove this, and we'll see what happens. 0, top, 1, top, 0, left, 1, left. This is the problem. This is the problem. Why is this? That makes no sense. These are the same, and then it changes. Why is it changing? Because input name, first input name, that should not be changing. Oh, no, because first input doesn't, oh. Ow. I think the problem is I'm not grabbing the first from the first. I'm grabbing it. I'm redefining it here. So what is it called up here? Field container wrap. Yeah, it's doing the same thing here. It seems to work though in this scenario, which is weird. But it's not working in this scenario, which is very weird. First input name. Replace this. And then we're just setting the name and the ID, which is correct, and the data index. What the fuck? Why is this wrong? It's right when you add, but it's wrong when it does the reset of indexes. Yeah, reset indexes. Oh. Maybe it's because I'm setting new. And I need old. No, because the old is up there and that's what I'm using. I'm not using the new. Right? I'm using the old name, which is up here. What if I set this outside of the click event? Would that work? I wonder if I set this outside of the click event so it doesn't change every time you click, maybe that's good enough to keep the name from changing. Alright, let's see what we got. This could fix everything. First try. Okay, let's see. We're gonna add you. After it finishes loading. Okay, here we go. Boop. And then we're gonna go boop. And now this is top left. Son of a bitch. It's still going left. What if I get rid of that like this altogether? So obviously it doesn't matter if this shit is on the outside. It's kind of weird. Shouldn't matter. That's weird. Value's 1,000. Why is value 1,000? Oh, because matching the first one. I gotta reset these to 0. Because I'm cloning the first one. That's weird. That might be another bug. Hold, please. Alright, let's try this again. What did I just do? Oh yeah, I got rid of the name changing. So they both should be top now. So if I add a new one, and I delete the old one, they should both be top. So this one should be top and top now. Top. Top. Okay. Okay, so we know that the logic's working. The only problem is that it's setting it. It's not working. I mean, input name replace top with left. Only if the input index is 0, or not 0. Maybe we should just do 1. I don't see how this would make a difference, but maybe explicitly saying 1 is better. Maybe it's not seeing 0 in the same way. I don't know. Because it looked like the indexes were fine when I was consoling them out, but... Alright. We got this. We got this. And this is... fucking wrong. So it's seeing both of these as 1. Which is weird. Why would it see both of those as 1? Wait a second. Maybe I should just go with the class, huh? Input class? Let's just do that. Replace top. Yeah, let's just do that. That might actually be a better solution. Kind of annoying, to be honest, but better. So we'll do this. It'll be first input, or input in FC input dot class name. Okay. And if it's top, it's top. If it's left, it's left. So this should work. Okay, let's give it a shot. And I think the last piece of the puzzle is going to be the values. I feel like the values are wrong. It's not maintaining the values when it resets because it's using the first one. Okay, let's remove that. And this should now be top. Excuse me. It's not. What the fuck? I'm not. Hold on, maybe it wasn't compiled. Give it another shot. Okay, boop, boop. So this should now be top. 'cause that's what the class is. It is. Okay, it wasn't compiled. Jesus, I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was taking crazy pills. Okay, there we go. Left and top. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so now the problem is that the values are copying the first values here. 1,000, 2,000. So if I wanted to do like 5,000, 6 and 8,000, and then here I wanted to do 30, 60. So if I delete this, will it maintain those values? Okay, it does. So if I do this, will it work? Yes. No. Wait, what? It only has left. What happened? What? I thought I fixed this. What happened? Wait, what? Excuse me. What the fuck? I fixed this. I just saw this working. It's using the class, so it can't be wrong. What is going on? Hold on. Add. Top, 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 left, left. Good. And when I delete this, it fucks it up. Why are they both left? Why is it referencing the left class? Why is the class name? Why is the class name left on both? Even though it says top. Wait a second. Severely confused. Yeah, on remove. Let's console log. I don't like console logging this, but I want the class name. So what's happening is on click remove, we're gonna get the closest container, because we're removing the one. We're getting the closest container. Actually, this confuses me. Why is the value changing as if it's cloning? Huh. So we got the closest container. We've got field containers. Okay, we're getting the field container. These are the new field containers. That's going through. Field containers through. So let's see what the class name is coming in at. I'm guessing it's going to be top left, but doesn't appear to be that way. At least when the code is showing it. Okay. Let's go ahead and add this. Okay, so now that I added this, this should have, yeah, the values of the first one. But it has top and left. Problem is, when this gets deleted, it's renaming this for some... Wait, why am I renaming this anyways? Why am I doing this? Why am I resetting this name and ID? I should only be changing the index. No, I mean I should only be doing this. Why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I doing unnecessary things? I don't need to change the name. What's wrong with me? I only need that for the add part, because I'm using the first one as reference. This one I'm not using the first one as reference. I'm just removing and then resetting the index names. I mean numbers. God, I hate when I screw myself. Stupido. Okay, here we go. So we're going to add. We're going to remove. And this should be correct now because I'm not touching it. Top, top, left. Wait, what? Why is this top? Okay. Look at, but, well, I think we solved our problem. Look at the index is above 0. Err. So it looks like a problem with adding actually is a problem, not. Let's remove this. Let's resave. There's a problem with the add function. Remove is fine, but the add function is not updating the second input. This is correct. Data index, field index is not correct. Wait, what? Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Am I tripping? I might be tripping. Hold on. Why were they both top? I'm not touching the class names. What if I'm removing the wrong shit? Wait, what? What the hell is going on? What is going on here? What's going on in the database? Why is it only... what the... What? Alright, hold on. Let's start from scratch. Obviously there's some shit going on. Okay. Start with 0. This is not that hard. I am just making it hard on myself. And, there we go. Let's double check the HTML is correct. Because, shit, it could be both tops, as far as I'm concerned. So we got top, 0. And we got left. Perfect. So now when I add one, after the feature image loads, there we go, and I click the add button, I get a brand new field container here, and the new inputs. Top is correct, 1 is correct, left is correct, 1 is correct. Okay. So far so good. Now let's do it again. And what do I get? This could be the problem. So I got a 2. I've got a 2 top and a 2 left. Both are perfect. So there's nothing wrong with the add function. But now, for some fucking reason, when I remove this one, let's double check this is the one that's being removed. Where is this? So let's close this one. And let's close this one. So now the only one open is the one I'm removing. So when I delete this, what the hell happens? Okay, it goes away. But it leaves us with some fucking top. What? Why is the data index, why is the name and the ID changing when I remove? Hold on. My remove functions are right here. The remove click event is here. Where am I updating the ID and the name? Oh, well, I'm doing it here. But why is... Wait, why am I using first input? Fucker. Okay, I'm dumb. But I shouldn't need to do this. I shouldn't need to use this name. I should just use the name that exists there already. That's the problem. So like, I should just be using the fucking ID. You know what I mean? Like, this should be what I do. And then it should be good to go. Like, I don't... Oh wait, that is what I'm doing. No, that's first input. See? I don't need this. Right? Like, I don't need this. Not for remove. Again, I was just stealing logic from the add functionality, and I don't need all the name shit because I already have the names I want. I don't want to touch the names. I just want to change the indexes. Let's try this again. Now that I did that, I think this is gonna work. And these repeater fields should be good to go. So I got boop, I got boop, I got boop. So now, you already know these all work perfectly. We got 2 top and 2 left, correct? 2 left, yes. Okay, so now when I remove one, boop, look at that. These did not update. Yeah, of course they didn't update. Because I'm trying to use 0. Okay, so what I need to do is get the index. So let's do that. Do I already have it actually? No. FC index equals FC input. No, I need the field container data index. Wait, container index, it's right here. Let's take the container index. Container index. Right. And we're gonna do this. Boop. Okay. Now we got this. It should update the index now. Yes, I have a good feeling about this. First try. It's gonna work. Anyone lurking on YouTube, welcome. Scott V. Adrian, website programmer. Been doing it for 20 years. 15 years as a WordPress programmer. Worked for Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers. Been around for a long time. This is a WordPress-based video game. Enjoy the weirdness. I'm creating a game engine for my book series. Shithead. It's still not updating. Why is it not seeing the index, the new index? Oh, because it's seen the new index. I need the old index. You fucking idiot. Hold, please. I need... Here we go. Const old index equals container index. Text content. Yeah, it's all vanilla JavaScript and styling using WordPress as the content management. So now all I need is old index. There we go. First try, it's gonna work. And I'll say first try until it works. All the music you hear in the background of my stream is mine. It's me singing or screaming or playing piano, whatever the song requires, in my various bands. Some of it's inspired by the book series Orbem. The book series is Harmonian Chronicles, but the first book is Orbem. Book 2 is coming out July 1st. These are all available on Amazon. Alright, here we go. Boom. Done. This is perfect, and it worked. Yes. We have the correct index for both, and we have top and left. Fucking finally. So if I do this, 3,000, 2,000, I do 3,000, yeah, whatever. 3,080, 4,000, 4,200. Let's save this. Let's double check what the database looks like. Kaboop. Kaboop. Looks perfect. We got top left, top left. Let's go ahead and add another one. And we'll do 9,000, 4560, and then we'll remove this one. Boop. And we'll go boop. And now the new value should be 9,04560. Boop. Done. Okay. We can now use these values. Oh shit, man. Alright, so Forno now is going to walk on this path. So in order to do that, I need to pass this information to the front end. And I will do that. It's actually, what was the fucking? It's called Explore Path. This is a post meta. Okay. So now I'm done with this shit. Goodbye, goodbye, yes. Now I can create repeater fields whenever I want. Okay. So let's go to the Explore template. Okay, so what do we got here? Get map item HTML. Now I'm going to need to attach the walking path to the NPC. And I think I'm just going to do data points. You know what I mean? Just easy for me to read. So like all this shit here, I think I'm just going to add a data point. Now what format? Because I need to do top left, top left. How would I do that? Maybe not a data point. Maybe I save it like in JSON, just on the in a variable somewhere. Just link it to the name of the character. I think I'm doing that somewhere already. So let's see. Oh, it's probably where I'm enqueuing the function. Oh, here, hold on. I gotta... No, that's user meta. User meta. Alright, let's go ahead and check out my melodies. Just kidding. Okay. So yeah, this is the inline shit. I think now what I need... Nah, I don't want to do it like this. Because then I'd have to do it for like every area in the map and it'd be a giant point. This needs to be specific to the user, so let's go ahead and... I don't know. Add it to... Get... item... Yeah. I guess I could just add it as like a JSON string, and then I'll just parse it when I want to use it. So in that case, we'll do if walking path, then we'll do a new data point, data walking, and data path. Equals. Alright. And it's going to be what? What would be JSON encode? Oops. And then we'll pass in walking path. Yeah. Oops. I forgot this is already here. Alright. So we'll do that. And let's define walking path. Oh shit, I keep forgetting I'm not in a template. I should be in a template. This is horrible practice. You should never be putting this much HTML in a fucking PHP function. But I'm not cleaning up my code yet. Alright, here we go. Walking path equals get post meta. Then we got explore point ID, and it's explore path. True. All right. And yeah, it's going to be a JSON thing. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like on the front end. Check out Forno here. Check out Forno. Where the hell is he? I think I broke him. Whoops. He's dead. Why? Why are you dead, Forno? What did I do to you? Check out what I got here. Oh, look at that. We've got Porno, he's right here. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at that JSON path. Oh, that doesn't look good. Hold please. Data path, JSON encode. Is my encode screwing it up? Maybe I don't need encode. Oh wait, hold on. Is it because of that? I have a space. That is highly possible. I got rid of the encode as well. Let's see what it does. Okay, default map. Warning. Array to string conversion. Yeah, okay, I need to encode it. Yes, we get it. WP on encode. That was correct. Oops. Okay, let's try this again. Could have just been that space. Alright. It looks like it's still not working. Alright, what the fuck? Oh, there's no space between it. Well, what if there was? Who cares? Oh. Okay, that's the problem. I need to do this. Dash right. Oops. Let's do this. There we go. False equals empty. We'll do walking path. Explore path. Oh, this one doesn't need it. Double quotes. Okay. That should be good. Let's put that there. Let's do a space at the end. Okay. Now this should be solid. Alright. What do we get? Farmer. Looking good. No, it's not. It's only looking good because I screwed it up. So what does that mean? That it's an array. Huh. What am I doing wrong? Because it comes out. So like this? Or is it like... Ah, fuck. Hold on. Let's check what the value is. Walking path. A boop. And then should just be chilling in the code. My var dump. Here we go. Wait, what? Why is walking path showing a bunch of shit? Walking path. Get put. What? Why is it showing so much shit? I should only have one walking path. It's got a bunch of empty strings though. Well, either way, it's array. But the array is showing object stuff. Okay. Right. So then what the hell is explore path? Look like nothing. Oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of errors because there's no index. I just want to make sure this is good and then I'm gonna jump off. I know I'm late. Running late. Type error. You fucking bitch. False equals empty. Explore path. Alright, hold on. I gotta see how I'm using explore path. The output somewhere else. Wait, what? Oh, is it because that fucking underscore instead of... God damn it, I hate when I do that. It's not underscore. You bitch. Oh, it's probably that simple. Always forget whether it's underscore or dash. Because I was stupid. Alright, let's see what we got here. There she blows. We've got. See, I gotta replace all the. Yeah, let's do that really quick. So we got that. We can do replenish with that, right? That should be correct. Pop, 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 pop. And then we'll do that. That should be correct. There we go. So now I shouldn't see any of those double quotes, and the string should be solid now inside the data point. Nope. Call the relation, blah 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 blah. Undefined function. Oh, it's not replaced. I'm getting my JavaScript confused. I do that sometimes when I swap back and forth. String replace, that's what it is. Alright, now this should be solid. There we go. We have our JSON. Okay, and we get the two paths in an array. So now if I want to use it, I just read it, and then I JSON parse it, and I can read each of these paths. Cool. Good. Solid. Very happy. Finished the repeater field. We got it outputting to the front end. Now I can use it. So if I go up here, Forno should be there now, right? Yes, he's here. Okay, cool. Hey, Forno. And this still works. Great. So now what I want to do is just see him walk to do different paths. So I'll work on that tomorrow. But I'm all done for tonight. Thanks everyone for stopping through. Maybe you can subscribe and we'll talk next time. I like interacting with people in chat, so feel free to join and ask questions. I know WordPress based RPG video game is very weird, so plenty of topics to go over. But yeah, I'm going to head out and get some sleep. It's 1 a.m. my time, so